Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today is a day of celebration. All right. We love making history on the Boston Police Department, which, by the way, is the first police department in our great nation, fully incorporated in 1854. So today is Nora Baston's day. But first, all right. Okay. Hey, calm down. I got to give her the badge. Take it easy. There's some thank yous. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I'm in my 35th year in law enforcement, and I've definitely studied the game. And I can't tell you how relieving it is when you have a mayor tell you that you, along with your brothers and sisters on the command staff, can select your command staff members that would best serve the community as well as this department. So that man is responsible for Mayor Martin J. Walsh is responsible for the way our Boston Police Department is being run, to be all-inclusive, to where we're going to have our police department reflect every neighborhood in the city. And we believe in inclusion. And we believe in lessons learned from the past, whether it was negative or positive, so that when we go towards the future, we'll take strong steps in making corrections from errors in the past and strong steps in reinforcing the positive that we've learned in the past and adding it to the future. So I'd like to thank Mayor Martin J. Walsh for your leadership and your faith in us. As well, here's his backup, here's his team, all right? Where's Madam President? Where are you? Madam President Campbell. Yes, City Council, all right? We have Councilor Tim McCarthy and Councilor Asabi George. I don't know if we have Ayanna Presley here today. Is she here somewhere? Well, God bless her, because she was instrumental in this young lady's career as well. Liz Maya, where you at? There you go. We love her. And while we're on the Liz's, Liz Miranda. Hey now. Sorry I can't endorse, but I can say hi, all right? Did I say Councilor Asabi George? But I want to give her a special shout out because she went to Boston Tech, sorry. Thaddeus Miles, Coach. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Miss Harris. How are you? This lady here has been instrumental in guiding many on this department because she helped raise us. I can't tell you how many times she smacked me in the head when I was a Roxbury Raider for trashing and tracking mud into Shelburne. But thank you for your leadership and guidance. And folks, I'm not ashamed to say, where would we be without God? So thank God. So I'd like to thank the clergy as well as a person. I know you're their dad, but she's got a dad in the clergy, Father Doc Conway. Who I lovingly, because he does not stand behind the pulpit, he's out engaged in the community, especially those that are gang involved or at risk. St. Peter's Teen Center, also in Roxbury. That's why I call him Father Clint Eastwood. Now, Nora's got a sister, Sarah. She loves that movie, Two Mules for Sister Sarah. So, Sarah. So meet Clint Eastwood, right? He's in that movie. All right. Down to business. I'd like to thank everybody from the Boston Police Department, both sworn and civilian, for showing your support today, including the union leaders and the associations. And I know you're all present. Thank you very much. This is who we are, folks. We do not have a separated department. If you look around the world, the room, it kind of reflects the world. That's BPD. So let me explain this new position, this new bureau created for our new superintendent, right? It's the Bureau of Community Engagement. And quite frankly, we've all heard of the moniker community policing, right? It's used across the nation. But what does it mean? Here's what it means in Boston. It's the community with the police, institutions of higher learning, right? Our great medical facilities, as well as our great philanthropists in the private sector, and even our professional sports teams, and last but not least, even Father Clint Eastwood, all right? That's the definition. We're #1 in the country in that BPD off of lessons that were hard learned, all right? And victory that were hard fought for. With that, we want to keep going, not going to rest on our laurels. You heard my swearing-in speech that community policing will be enriched by the education of what we do to the community and how we will work with the community, thus the new Bureau of Community Engagement, which Deputy Baston, who is now Superintendent Baston, will be the head of the Bureau. So, she will be in charge of working with the captains. We have 11 districts and 11 community service offices that do a great job, but we want uniformity. We want to make sure every district is on the same page, providing the same service. She'll be the guidance. So we're working with the community, the Office of Media Relations as well. You know what? We have to market ourselves because we need to tell our story. Most law enforcement, you're too humble, but we have to show that we're different from any negative interactions or stories you've heard outside of the Commonwealth. So we want to show how well we work with the people and be transparent at the same time and show that we have the ability to police ourselves as well. That's very important for community trust. Neighborhood Watch Unit, Crime Stoppers Unit, the cadets will be assigned to Superintendent Baston. The Police Athletic and Activity League, important. Again, great philanthropists that contribute funds to enrich our programs and support our programs. Thank you, Pal. Housing Liaison Officer. Now you won't have one officer just assigned to Cathedral or separately to Bromley Heath. We're going to have an officer, George Diaz, who is an icon in the communities. And he'll be working in each and every neighborhood to ensure that we have our stuff together and that we're working with the people. LBGTQ liaison under Superintendent Baston. Everybody is included in our great city. There are no walls. Inclusion, inclusion, inclusion. So we're going to have a department. Michael Gaskin's there. Please tell everyone your title so I don't screw it up again. Stand up.
Diversity Recruitment Officer and Exam Administrator.
Thank you, sir. That means everybody's welcome on the BPD. Sworn civilian, and again, thank you, Mayor, because he made that possible as well. And I'm saving the best for last. We would be nowhere without people that paved the road for us, and that's the seniors in our community. Thank you. Superintendent Baston will be in charge of elderly liaisons throughout the city. So, let's give her a hand. And just so you know, before I bring the mayor up, got to brag about my sister a little bit. She has been on this command staff for 11 years, okay? 3 administrations, which are You're part of the best one. Thanks, Mayor, again. Blaming the mayor on that one, right? And she has been 22 years, a 22-year veteran of the BPD. She served all over the city. She was a supervisor out in the street where she was well respected, okay? So she just has such a great commitment to everybody in Boston, but especially to our future, right? Great mentorship program throughout the city, especially reinforcing the confidence and the knowledge of our young women. Let's not forget them, all right? So women are the life givers on our planet. They are our future. They're the guidance, they're the mothers. Thank you for reinforcing our future. And speaking about future, I will now bring up the best mayor ever, Martin J. Walsh, so he can share a few words. All right.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let me thank the Commissioner for his leadership. I want to thank Chief Long as well, members of the command staff, the captains, the officers, the cadets, the staff, and all the families here today. Thank you for being here today. First of all, our first thoughts, obviously, with the police officer who was shot yesterday, and wish him a speedy recovery as he gets through the next couple of weeks and months. He and his partners yesterday went into a very dangerous situation and apprehended those suspects. They certainly made our community safer, and that's what our officers do every day. Even though we don't always see that reported that way, they keep us safe every single day. So I want to thank them for their incredible support in working to get guns off the street and continue to get more guns off the street, and helping young people get back on the right track. So that's really why we're here today, really to acknowledge a lot of that. I want to thank the elected officials that are here, Councilor Campbell, McCarthy, and Asabi George. I want to thank Representative Malia, who's spent her life as a state rep working to make sure that the funding comes down to the programs that we need. Liz Miranda will be elected state representative in November, and her whole background really is about community engagement and giving back. And to the people that we shouted out today, there's some remarkable individuals in this room, like Elfrida Harris has been doing it for a long time, Father Conway's been doing it for a long time. You know, people that have just done this work, and Liz Miranda, who's done it for not as long as them, but carried that mantle forward, and now is entering into the area of politics. There's some incredible police officers and captains and people in this room that have done community policing for such a long time. I see a lot of the gang unit down the back here, and you know these young people in the gang unit, they often get their job is to get guns off the street and work and getting gang members off the street, but they also do so much more than that. They engage the community, they engage with the young people. Their job, they don't want to arrest people. What they want to do is really try and lift them up, and they do it. They've proven their work, and Nora's been part of that. So I want to thank all of you as well, the gang unit that's here that does some incredible work. As the Commissioner mentioned, this Bureau is going to focus on and expand on some of the most important work in the department. You know, I was thinking about, as he was talking, building trust in the community, and we're going to continue to do that. And this Bureau, it does that. Along with the other bureaus, working to create more pathways forward for our young people, and that's something that is really important. This is the kind of leadership is why we appointed Willie Gross and Greg Long to lead this department. We have the best community policing in the country, but you can't keep that if you don't continue to change that model and continue to change with the times, and that's what we have to do. This year alone, shootings are down by over 25% from this time last year. By the end of this year, violent crimes on track to be down 16% over 5 years, and even as our population has grown by 50,000 new people in the city of Boston. We have seen great police work, great police leadership, and great police community engagement. But this weekend shows us that the numbers don't make us all safe, and we can't be just satisfied with the numbers. Our goal is 0 homicides. That's our goal here in the city, and we're going to continue to move towards that goal. We have to keep pushing, keep expanding partnerships and relationships, keep innovating and using different programs and what works and what doesn't work, and move what doesn't work and continue to move what works. Keep building trust, and that's what this new Bureau is going to do. We can't have a better leader in this bureau than Superintendent Nora Baston. I had a chance to meet Nora when I was a state representative, and I saw her at, I think it was St. Peter's Teen Center. No, actually it was the Boys and Girls Club the first time I saw her. And I saw her come out in the court, and she was playing hoop with the kids and talking to them and mentoring them. And you know, something can be said for being engaged. If you can make young people see you in a whole different light and understand that you are just like them, in a lot of ways, there's an opportunity for us to get to them. And we have to, and many of the police officers in this room do that every single day, and I want to thank you for that. Nora's work in our city has been incredible. She knows what to do. She's everywhere, always smiling and positive, always supportive, an incredible role model and mentor. She's from the city of Boston, and she went to our schools. Community-based safety is what her passion is. Among the awards, she's received many awards as people in this room. In 2015, she received the Women's Leadership Award at the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester. It's the Newler Awards. And when she received that award is set up by the Dorchester Boys and Girls Club to showcase and promote women to young girls in the club and young women in the club, so that they can see that anything is possible. And that's something that's really important for me, to be that role model for so many people. She's experienced, as the commissioner mentioned, 11 years in the command staff. It's exciting to see her being promoted to this role. And for me personally, this role is an important role because it is about community engagement. As I look around this room today, I see the diversity of the Boston Police Department. As I look around this room today, I see a lot of passion in the Boston Police Department. As I look around this room, I see a lot of great things that are happening, but we still have a lot of work to do. We don't always see the promotion of the good things that are happening in the police department. We read the bad things in the papers and on the news. And sometimes that's just the way the world is today. But we have to understand and make sure that every single day we need to keep putting one foot in front of the other, continue to making our department the best, and continue. The most important thing about our department, as I said, to me, isn't about locking people up. It's about lifting people up. And that's what our goal is every single day. There are days where we have to lock people up, there's no question about it. And there are days when we have horrible situations in our city, and we've experienced plenty of them. And yesterday was one of those when I got a phone call that a police officer's been shot. And the fact that somebody took a gun out and pointed at a police officer and shot at a police officer right there, there's some issues in society that we have to work on. But we're going to continue to do that every single day. I'm proud of the work of this department. I've been proud since I've been mayor of the city of Boston. I'm going to continue to be proud of the work. I'm so proud of you, Superintendent, for your great work. Congratulations, and well-deserved honor.
Patriots could use this enthusiasm. We'll get back on track. President of Mamleo, Larry Ellison, I see you over there. Thank you. Your sister's here, Kelly Nee, the chief of Boston University Police. And one more thing we're doing at all pinnings and ceremonies now, we want to introduce you to the rest of your family members on BPD, starting with, can you introduce yourself? The command staff will introduce themselves and tell you where they're from. So this is who serves you, sir.
Greg Long, Superintendent-In-Chief.
Down the line. Yeah. Yeah. Who else is over there? Okay. Couple more back there.
Kevin McGoldrick, Deputy Superintendent, BFS.
All right. Dove.
Colorblind Superintendent, Boston Regional Intelligence Center.
So now, welcome your sister in her new rank as Superintendent Nora Baston. Family, please come up. Come on up. Dad. All of you up. Go ahead, Ian, stick her. Right through those loops.
All right. Thank you.
So much love in the room. Just he says a couple words, you close it out.
I don't even know where to begin, and
Get over here.
I guess I get the microphone now. Thank you guys. I was driving into work this morning really early, and I was starting to get a little nervous, which I called Father Conway, and I said, "Hey, Father, Doc, I'm getting kind of nervous." And he said, "Pull over, close your eyes, and think about scoring 18 points in a basketball game, like you said." And I said, "Well, right now I feel like there's no time left. I'm at the free throw, and I don't want to be shooting." But I first want to begin, like everyone said in this room, the commissioner, the chief, all this day wouldn't be possible without this man right here, Mayor Walsh. Thank you, Mayor Walsh, for for believing in me, for having the confidence in me. And when we first met, even before he was announced mayor, you've always made me feel included. You always made me feel like I was part of the team. We could be at a promotion for a bank opening or a ceremony for a Little League, and he always made a point to address the things that I was doing in the community and always making me feel that my work is being valued out there. So thank you for your leadership. Another man I want to thank is this man right here, the commissioner. Before he even became commissioner, when he got the good news, he actually was thinking of me. He pulled me aside and said, "If this day ever happens, I'm going to take care of you, sister. I believe in you, and I've always had, and when I have the power, you will become commissioner one day," and you always made me feel that way. So to become a superintendent, this is a day that I always dreamed of. Every 2 weeks when he was the chief, he used to call me into my office, and we had bi-weekly meetings. And I remember I used to complain and go, "Who else gets dragged into bi-weekly meetings? Like, what the?" And as those 4 years went on, I realized that we never talked about really anything. It was about him making me believe in myself. It was about him making me feel like the confidence that I should have and I should carry with myself. And all the things that I say to these young girls, he would say to me. And when I would come out of these meetings, I remember I would have the biggest head ever. I was like, wow, I feel really good. I mean, he really went out of his way to make me know that I am valued, that the work I am doing is very important. That, the times on the sideline that I sat there, I always wondered, does anyone even really care? And because of you, because of the mayor, and because of all you in the room, you made me realize that there's so many people out there that care. There's so many people out there. But even before I get to that, right here, my family. My sister Elizabeth, my sister Sarah, my adopted sister Ann, my nieces who I'm so proud of, who is from Colorado and now going to Harvard University to study to be a doctor. And she's also taken a second major in women's studies, so I told her we'd better not see her on the protest line. This is the athlete of the family, Morgan. She's from South Carolina. She will be an all-star athlete playing in college scholarship. She's only in what grade? Ninth grade. So she's going to be. My father, everyone knows Papa B through all the years. My second father, Father Conway. And you can't forget one more person real important to me is this one here, this woman here. Ann Murphy, my adopted grandmother, who also has been here for this entire journey of mine. Always, if I was ever feeling down, I could call this person on the phone, have coffee with them. Once again, making my head feel really, really big. Told me I can be anything I want to be. So without all these people in my life, you know, my sisters, we grew up on Rexford Street, and that's the earliest memory I had. And, you know, we talk about family. My mom worked midnights trying to raise us, my father, so this was my family right here. These was my sisters. I remember going off the bunk bed and splitting my eye and having my sisters, Liz, who might only been like 14 at the time. And we had to somehow go to the hospital, call the doctors, and, you know, scramble around how my sister's taking care of me. But they've been my rock. They've been through this whole journey. When the commissioner appointed me, it was my mother's birthday. When he told me the day that I was finally getting the 4-star. And I think that means something because she's been watching me this whole time as my guardian angel. She's been the one out there that's really made sure this all day happened. I feel also, come up, my cousins are here. You don't recognize my 2 cousins. And if you guys can't tell, in this family looking just around, this is the melting pot. You can see it clearly. And the last I want to really dedicate is, like I said, you know, you went over the city officials and all the dignitaries here, but I wouldn't even introduce them as that. I would introduce them as my friends, people that have really become in my life from, you know, Tim, Anissa, Andrea, who have Liz Malia, Liz Miranda, you know, you call them the officials, but these are people that are my friends. These are people that send me text messages that I spend time with that are part of my family, that they care about this community as much as all of us in this room. Susan Young, Bob Francis, Jackie Furtado, Thaddeus, Sister Nancy, who taught me way back about community policing when I was first new to all of this. Leslie from Score for More, Karen Payne. I'm naming everyone because they've really been the rock of this. Paul Doyle, who's out every Thursday and Tuesday at the Boys Club. Without all these guys really having here this community support, none of this would be possible. And then the other people in my life, my best friends. I have my friend Nicole. She got me through high school, the only one at Latin school that let me cheat off her homework. Everyone else is covering up the paper, covering up the paper. Yes. But no, for real, without people in my life like that, my college roommates here, Keisha Phelps, who spent all the years in college with me when I was a little knucklehead, and we started off, you know, she's from Syracuse, New York, and my coach used to make everyone come visit and stay with me, and that got them to sign to go to the school until the seniors said, you know they're your position, right? You're signing these people and you're not, and we became best friends. To Vanessa Gassier, who I met when I was a brand new 22 years old police officer, and we formed she's now a state trooper, we formed a friendship, and yes, and she is now, same thing as the one that you always see in the pictures with the state police going, why the state police in the pictures? It's because she's trying to make change, you know, in the state police. She's a new officer for diversity and recruitment. They're doing the same strategy that we're doing in Boston, which is the same common theme of building relationships with kids. Juliana, who means the world to me, she's been there. Yes. She's been there. Yeah, your family, you're all family, who's been there for me the whole time. Vanessa up here, Danielle, all my baby's dogs. This is the one that takes care of them. Everyone here. I can't, you know, Alicia, Lindsay, Jamila, and all the officers, like I said, you know, a few years ago, Father Conway, who everyone knows, he somehow got a list of all the kids that were in Bromley Heath projects that were going into the 4th grade. And he somehow had this list about 80 kids that he knew was entering. And I remember them giving us the keys, and they said, knock yourself out. And it took about 2 months for us to knock on every person's door. And now you have to picture at noon a priest and a police officer knocking on your door. You don't know them. And they were like, hi, we're here to tell, and they're dropping the phone and going, what do you want, what do you need? And we were just here because we knew the future for our kids was getting into nativity prep because they have a 99% rate of graduating. These kids are gonna go to BC, BU, and we were able to get the funds and get them into school free. So it took us about 2 months with Father Conway and his work. No. But the story is that not one family signed up. And I realize that is because when the families don't know you, they're not letting you in their life. So we can have all the programs in the world. When the families don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't know you, all the services, they're not going to let you be a role model and a mentor to your young people. So, Mr. Mayor, to have this unit dedicated to all the officers, Janine Busby, Sky, Manny, and all the gang unit guys, like the mayor said, the gang unit guys and the drug unit guys are in all these events more than anyone. They come out all the time because they care. They come out, and it doesn't matter if the week before their test, I said to everyone, oh, there's no basketball game. And the community member, Al McLean, said, oh, no, the game's already set up. We're playing today at 3. And I couldn't believe it because everyone else would be in the books, hitting the books, studying. But Manny, all the time that you and your guys have come out and dedicated your time, like I said, Jeff Lopes, Nicole Grant, that out here every day, these are the people doing the work. These are the officers on the line that make us, like I said, our jobs easy. But to have this commitment now, to show that we have real commitment to the community. You know, Ms. Harris, everyone years ago, if everyone knows basketball, the ball players know, it was the elite people. She had Tanya Cardoza, Avril Roberts, Robin Christian. And guess what? I remember going to a game, and then it was me. And I remember all the kids as All-Americans, and they said, what are you doing here? Someone said, you're the mascot, I think. Because my level of playing was not the level of playing to these people. But you know what? Ms. Harris grabbed me, and she said, we need to will you in. We need to have you not run around in the streets. You're part of our program. And she explained to all the All-American women who really were like, why is she here? That I needed to be pulled in. I needed the role models and the mentors, because if not, she just saw a young kid with really no direction. And all the Boys and Girls Clubs and all the coaches, I wouldn't be here without them. So I hope this unit creates opportunity, but without opportunity, you need guidance. You need officers that can guide you. So all the officers that are here every day, Danielle, my high school friends are here. You got Zamara. Zamara, will you come through here? Because I have people in the community now that are part of my life. I met Zamara way back in the Casserly house when her kids were little, 3 years old. And she would come all up. And now this is someone, these are people in my life now. These are people that mean something to me, that I'm part of their life. When I was out injured, when I was at home, they were coming to my house to visit me. And this is what all this is about. All the people, Charlie Moore, Liana, Steve, who's been there the whole time, the man behind the curtain, all the time there, and Larry Ellison. Larry and Ma'am Leo, we all know, I know for me, my journey, I would not be sitting up here if it wasn't for the work and behind the scenes at 11 years you've been for me. So I want to thank you. And I'm just going to end because I'm talking more than the commissioner now. But, you know, this is also what makes a statement to the female officers and the females in the department. I always say, you know, when I didn't have the SUV and I was driving the Fusion, it wasn't about the car. It was about what it means when you pull up. When the other female officers know what power means and what real and having.
You have an SUV now.
Yes, I have an SUV. But it means something to the young officers. These officers, I had an event and I had 25 young females out and I didn't know half of them. When I have an event now, I send it to one officer and she's sending me 25, 30 names. Before it was just like Sky, Nicole, our go-to people. And to know that they're our generation and they really believe in it and they're out there committed. So to know they have someone in leadership. We have Winnie here, we have Kelly Nee, but we need more women. This is a statement to say that more women need to rise and be able to have the power to make change. So I'll end with that. I'll end with that. Kerry, Ryan, Matt, everyone, my family at Neighborhood Watch, Jerry, I can name everyone here. They would be up here. But I just want to make sure, because I don't want to even go home. Oh, I do have one more. I do. Kyle, right here, he just became a cadet, and he's already doing an amazing job. And you can ask, when he went to the interview, what did you say? He was there 2.5, 3 hours talking about community policing. His grandmother raised me. His grandmother, when I passed away, was the one. And I remember when she reached out, she said, I want my grandson to become a Boston cop. And I was like, oh, my God, I can only imagine. And when I talked with him on Super Bowl night, and I remember we texted the entire night. And his vision, I was like, wow, how old is this kid? He's a cadet? He wants to be a cadet? And he's our future. These guys here are Murph, all of them are our future. And they're out here doing all this. But without this commitment, this shows another level, Mr. Mayor. So I want to thank you and thank all my family and everyone that came out. My Kozo, did I name everyone? Okay. And all the media for doing this good story. Lindsay, got to shout out Amy, Izzy, Kenny Gross. But anyway, I can't do this day right here. The best captain in the entire city who gives me all his people, Tommy Rose. All right, I said enough. But thank you so much for making this possible. I am so blessed. Thank you.
All right. This is almost a wrap. We have another proud family member here. Oh, wait a minute. Do I see? Is that Izzy Morero? Morero? Latino law enforcement officers. He's the man for that association.
Dennis, come up here too, Dennis, because you've been here through this journey with me
So right now, I know, you're going to name the animals on the ark next? No.
Hey, they help too.
All right. So, this is our proud new family. And again, the mayor, in his infinite wisdom, when we were talking about selecting the new superintendent-in-chief, it was a no-brainer for us to have this department equally led by Superintendent-in-Chief Greg Long. He's been out in the streets for years, hard-working street cop. And we want you to hear from the chief. Thank you.
All right, I promise I'm going to keep this quick, but first what I'm going to do is we're going to be handing out a pop quiz. If you can name 70% of the people that Nora mentioned, you get a passing grade on it. In the interest of full disclosure, I'm a classmate of Nora. We came out at the same time, so days like this and moments like this, it's actually pretty cool to experience, moments like this with people like that. So that's actually a very unique experience to be standing up here right now. Nora, I just want to congratulate you. It's obviously a tremendous achievement to get in this position. Obviously, as you've heard numerous times today, you spent years building relationships with the community, which is so vital to policing, which everyone in here understands. In your new role, you're going to be able to carry on the mayor and the commissioner's vision of enhancing that community policing and building upon that. I don't think there's any better person for this role, and I look forward to honestly seeing you grow the relationships that clearly have been built and just bringing us into the future with this. So congratulations,
All right. Let's hear it one more time for the mighty Mayor Walsh. And for your new superintendent, Nora Baston.